Greetings, programs. Neo Mega Man back again for episode 12 of Let's Play Katawa Shoujo. Last time we left our intrepid hero and his two female companions. They were heading to the Shanghai for like the 5th time. Oh well, whatever. I haven't seen Yuko in a while either, and neither of the girls. For all these reasons, plus the fact that it's so close, I end up standing in front of the little tea shop with Shizune and Misha before I know it. Welcome! It's been a while since I've heard Yuko's voice, so I'm surprised all over again by the energy she puts into her greetings. Kinda like an extremely nervous Misha. Hi! But you don't have to do that all the time if it's just us. Yes, I do. But... okay, if you say so, Yuko. I take this moment to glance around the tea house and notice that it is empty as usual. It's lunchtime, essentially the peak hour for an establishment of this type. And yet it's as barren as ever. I don't understand. There has to be a reason for this. Shizune gently taps my arm to get my attention. What do you want to get? Yuko looks a little agitated after Misha automatically relays the question. No, I'm supposed to ask that. Is there anything I can do for you? Just some coffee for now, I guess, thanks. The dedication Yuko has towards her waitressing duties is sort of admirable. So is the speed at which she whisks slices of cake and our drinks to our table when we order. Then again, we're the only customers here. Who knows what it would be like with a full house. Shizune and Misha immediately dig into their cakes with gusto, probably because they can't talk with utensils in their hands. The whole point of sharing a meal with friends is like this being able to talk over it, after all. It makes sense that this would be the same for them. I'm barely halfway through my cake when I hear their forks clinking as they set them down on their empty plates. It's not healthy to inhale your food. Hee-chan sounds like an old man. Cringe and instantly feel like I've been punched. Are you gonna wear a yukata tomorrow, Hee-chan? No, I don't even have one. Well, even if I did, I'm not the kind of guy who does stuff like that. What about you? Are you two gonna dress up? Of course. What do you mean, of course? You didn't dress up last time. One time is not a trend. It's a completely different situation anyway. Aside from not being Tanabata, the festival was on school grounds. Students should wear their uniform on school grounds. Clearly a joke, but her delivery isn't any different from the usual. That isn't normal, but her sense of humor never was, and I'm used to it. I guess her way of saying outrageous things seriously is a little better than if she were to say serious things outrageously. What's more troubling in any case is that I've started to associate a voice with her signing, and it's clashing with how Misha says out loud everything Shizune signs anyway. I feel disoriented. I'll dress up this time. You'll see, Hee-chan. Not just Hee-chan, but me too. Maybe I'll change my hairstyle too. Don't do that. I can't really imagine you looking differently. Oh, poor Hee-chan. Shizune wags a finger and smiles. Such a quick and firm disapproval. What if I were to change my hairstyle? Maybe you should grow your hair out and make it look like drills. She looks unamused. Luckily, I see Yuko making her way over, likely to clear our plates or ask if we need anything from her. Yuko, are you doing anything for Tanabata? Huh? It's like she was practicing how to most smoothly ask if I needed a refill of coffee while walking over. But she has no idea what to do, having been asked a question first. I feel bad. Yes, I'm working. Yuko, they make you work on holidays? Aw. We have the most business on holidays, and sometimes tourists. I don't mind. I have to do my best. I understand completely. So admirable. Shizune nods her head in solidarity, feeling a kind of kinship with Yuko through their shared determination to be the best. Although for her it's a matter of pride, whereas Yuko might just feel that she really needs a job and maybe a raise. Most business, huh? So how many people on average during a holiday? Well... Yuko walks away and starts cleaning up a cup of swizzle sticks. That isn't polite. This is not what a proper waitress would do. Nevertheless, I sort of got my answer anyway. Clearly, business is scarce at best. Again, I start to wonder how the Shanghai remains open at all. Maybe this eclectic style of tea house is a trend that was outrageously successful before I got here, but isn't anymore. And they're just keeping it like this while they retool. Maybe the owner's rich and involved in some sort of bet with someone else or a crazy scheme to see who can lose the most money. Maybe I just conveniently miss mobs of customers by seconds every visit. Or maybe this place is just a front for arms dealers. Since there's no one else here, why don't you just sit down with us? We could talk about economic infeasibility. But Yuko doesn't take the bait, shaking her head from side to side emphatically. I've never really celebrated Tanabata before, or dressed up for anything like this. I'll finally be able to wear my yukata. Yay, yay! What do you mean never? What about last year? Last year, Shi-chan, me, and the 3-2 class rep ran a stall for the festival. It was a soba stall, I think. Yeah, it was. The blind class rep of 3-2 must be Lily. I'm surprised they were able to work together on anything, but Misha would likely be the best possible buffer for that kind of thing with how innocent she is. Shi-chan cooked, Lily took the orders, and I translated for him. Shi-chan kept saying, "It's so inefficient, Misha, why do you have to be the middleman?" As in, why is there a middleman in the first place? Huh? It would all be fine if I did the cooking and you took orders. It doesn't make sense at all. But I think everyone had fun in the end. Right, Shi-chan? Motherfucking dot. Shizune adjusts her glasses grudgingly, causing Misha to break into laughter. It was the old student council's idea, that's why. So what was the last student council like, then? Shizune finally decides to step in again, or it's more like she can't stop herself. Terrible. That was blunt. She ends with a chopping motion as if passing judgment on them. I hope she's going to elaborate a little. At universities and some private schools, student councils can have control over millions of yen to budget and distribute as needed. Wow, really? Millions? Right. And they're much more involved in school activities too, Hee-chan. From Misha's tone, it seems like this is newer to her than it is to me. This school student council was a joke in comparison. Don't give people positions of power if they don't have any power at all. What's the point? So, I wanted us to have more and more work. It was hard to convince the school and other student council members to allow it. Actually, a lot of the work you've seen us do is really work that I took on, which is what Lily was talking about. If it wasn't for Shi-chan, the student council would just file attendance reports day in and day out. Would you prefer that, Hee-chan? Of course, Hee-chan, as soon as the workload started going up, most of the student council stopped coming. Shizune's fingers fold over each other carefully. It looks like she wants to add something, but can't bring herself to. Like she said, sign language gives you a little more time to think about what you say. I guess she feels like she can't talk about this. That was then, and this is now. Let's just have fun tomorrow. That's what she finally settles for. Yeah. Okay, then student council is adjourned for today. Has to be adjourned excitingly because today was a good day. School seems to be over by the time we leave the tea house, and I can see students coming down from the town as we walk up the road toward it. A couple of people wearing our school uniform look at Shizune as she walks by, and I wonder if they recognize her as the student council president or if their eyes are just being drawn to Misha's head. It's impossible not to overhear the chatter in the air, and the topic is more often than not plans for Tanabata. I wonder how many of them will be using or going to the stalls that I reassembled. Makes me feel a little pride, an emotion I've never felt for doing something for school. Maybe this is how Shizune feels as well. I almost want to ask, but it seems stupid to want to do so now. So I just hold on to the thought of as the three of us walk onto campus and then separate. Shizune to the student council room, and Misha and I to our dorms. It isn't until they're gone that I realize I again didn't ask when and where they wanted to meet up tomorrow. Dagnabbit. Okay, finally we're getting into Tanabata. Even though it's a holiday, I wake up at the same time as usual on a day when everyone else is likely sleeping in for another 6 hours. I take my morning regimen of pills for the first time in a few days. Admittedly, I'd let my medication slip my mind. Looking at the little rows of bottles in front of me, I don't know how I managed to. 17 different medications. I feel full enough to skip breakfast after taking all of them. I'm already up, so I might as well take a walk. The weather looks nice outside, giving off an idyllic atmosphere I've often dreamed of. It's always been kind of a romantic notion to me to be able to meander around in the countryside, taking in the fresh air. Now that an opportunity to do just that is here, I can't resist, even though I know it must seem silly. I stop at the main building in order to buy a drink, and then decide to enter it and maybe hang around on the roof a little bit. The view might be pretty cool at this time, and I'm sure that nobody else will be up there either, and I've never been up there by myself. The school is very quiet today, deserted. My footsteps echoing in the staircase to the roof are unnervingly loud. It shouldn't bother me due to how much time I've spent in sign language class in near total silence, working so much with Shizune lately, but it still does. It makes the smallest noises that I wouldn't have even noticed before seem boomingly loud. I feel like I'm sneaking around someplace I shouldn't be. I wonder why I'm getting that vibe. Maybe the school's haunted. Uh-oh. When I open the door to the roof, I see that I'm not alone. Misha leans against the fence, looking over the school grounds, not having noticed me at all. Instantly, I know what I have to do. I have to put my hands over her eyes and say, "Guess who?" It's the only option. Halfway, I start thinking of how bad this would look if Shizune suddenly popped in, having left just for a second to get some sandwiches, and she saw me sneaking up on Misha like this. I pray silently that such a coincidental misunderstanding doesn't happen. "Guess who?" "Hee-chan!" she says without hesitating for a second, without deviating even slightly from her normal tone. My fun was over before it started. "Hi, Hee-chan! Good morning!" She reflexively tries to move her hands to form a greeting and entangled them in the fencing. "Good morning. I didn't expect to find you here. What are you doing up so early?" "I could ask you the same thing, Hee-chan. What are you doing up so early? I didn't expect to find you here." "I asked you first." You're right. You sound just like Shi-chan." "No, I don't," I say in the least convincing manner possible. Luckily, Misha doesn't notice what a bad actor I am. "You looking forward to tonight?" "Of course, Hee-chan. I don't like celebrations, or maybe not as much as Shi-chan does, but Tanabata stands always have interesting things to buy and all kinds of seasonal food. And I get to wear a yukata." Her choice of words is a little strange. It sounds like she's saying that she doesn't like celebrations, but likes doing everything involved with them. I don't know if it's worth pursuing, though, then I could just be misunderstanding. "What about you, Hee-chan?" "I am, or else I'd just stay home, wouldn't I? It's the logical step." "Hee-chan, you're not that logical. So that's really surprising." Okay, though. I was just making sure, because you didn't look like you were having a lot of fun last time. Me and Shi-chan were a little worried because of that." "Yeah, I had fun. I guess I ended up appreciating it more than I expected to." "Really, Hee-chan?" "What part of it? Tell me." "Well, there were fireworks at the end. They were really nice." "I think you slept through them." "Aw, I always fall asleep early. But I won't sleep through them this year. I'll definitely stay awake." "I don't think they have fireworks during Tanabata. It's a different mood entirely. Maybe you can get Shizune to petition them to have them, though, and to move the fireworks to an earlier time." "Maybe I will. That's a great idea, Hee-chan." No, it's not. Don't do that. I wasn't being serious." Although, maybe it would annoy Shizune. "You make it sound like you would like that, Hee-chan." "Hee-chan, do you like Shi-chan?" I can't say yes or no, and sitting down like I am, I can't even smoothly leave. "Don't be silly. The one I like is you." "Really, Hee-chan? No, you're kidding, right? You must like Shi-chan more." "Oh, Misha, you jump to conclusions too much." "But you almost call her Shi-chan, so I'm right, right?" "It's because you call her Shi-chan all the time. It got stuck in my head. Osmosing language is common, you know. Besides, it's one little slip-up, and by your logic, you should like her more than me. Are you making fun of me or something?" "Maybe." "I'm hungry. Did you eat breakfast, Hee-chan?" "No, just medicine." Misha twirls her finger lazily in the air to keep her hands busy as she thinks. "We should eat something then. Do you think they'll be serving breakfast today?" That's really the kind of thing a member of the student council should know. I can't say that, though. I'm on the student council and I don't know. It didn't seem like anyone was working in the kitchen when I entered the building, but I don't know for sure. Hey, Hee-chan, you ever heard about those vending machines you can get food from, like burgers, soup, and even pizza? Wouldn't it be great if we had some of those at our school? I don't know. I always thought those machines were kind of weird. Imagine how cool it would be if we had machines like that at our school, Hee-chan. It'd almost be like magic, wouldn't it? Hot food coming out of a vending machine? That's so amazing. I could never imagine that. Seeing one of those machines would be like a dream. We don't have machines like that in this whole town, though. It's too early to even go into town. I won't be able to eat breakfast, Hee-chan. That's the most important meal of the day. Everyone says so. I want to eat. You're really silly. If it bothers you so much, I'll buy you a soda. Misha puffs out her cheeks and puts on a serious face. Hee-chan, soda is not breakfast. It's like water. It's not like water, it's a liquid. Water isn't food. Liquid can be food. Now who sounds like Shizune, Misha? I want to say it. Even her tone reminds me of Shizune's unblinking matter-of-fact way of stating the ridiculous. If I did say that, though, I'd be the one who sounded like Shizune again. It's terrible. Her competitiveness is really rubbing off on me because you're a freaking idiot. He's out. Let's look for something to eat, then. Okay. Predictably, our search for food in an empty school building this early in the morning leads only to failure. Misha decides to go off on her own after we both decide to give up for now, vowing to eat breakfast even though by now it's closer to time for brunch. I go back to my dorm. The following hours tick by slowly, and I pass the time by catching up on my reading. Some of these books I haven't touched since I was at the hospital. Thinking back on it, it wasn't that long ago, even though it definitely feels like it was. A free day, and I can't think of anything to do. I take a short nap, and as I change for the second time today, I realize that I never actually confirmed with Shizune or Misha when and where we would meet up. Dagnabbit. I guess that eventually they would come looking for me, but I would look pretty stupid if it came to that. It's already evening, so I should make an effort to find them first. Even though the grounds aren't exactly flooded with people, and it should be impossible to miss Misha's pink hair even if they were, I have a lot of difficulty finding them. I finally run into them at the front gate, which is the first place I'd looked. Hello. Wowzers. She attempts to punctuate her normal greeting with a grand little sweep at the end. Hee-chan, how are you? Wow, man. Okay, I'm going to pause here for just a moment and kind of comment on this particular situation. If I were Hisao, and these were actual girls looking at me wearing these particular outfits, my jaw would have hit my knees, man. To put it bluntly, these are knockout outfits. And I don't know, maybe just that brooch on Shizune's hair. Just, ugh. God, he's out. Even on paths that I don't envy him, he's such a lucky bastard. Anyway. It's strange seeing them in yukata, although I've been seeing yukata in general all night. Shizune's is simple and tasteful, which seems obvious for her in retrospect. For all her grand flourishes and over-the-top behavior, I think she'd rather die than dress the part. What draws my eye is the hairpin she's wearing, a pearl flower that gleams softly in the moonlight. It looks pretty on her, but in a way it also feels out of place, as if it's too elaborate for a high school girl, or maybe just someone as secretly childish as Shizune is. Misha's yukata is about what I expected, so it actually fits a little too well. Paired with her bubblegum pink hair, she looks cute but anachronistic. You two look nice. Thanks, Hee-chan. Hee-chan, you're a little late. Well, we were waiting here for a while for you. Did you forget the time or the place? Oh well, let's get going, Hee-chan. Misha dropping this line of discussion saves me what could potentially be a pretty embarrassing thing to own up to. Specifically, that I'd been looking for them for at least an hour. Seeing Shizune and Misha looking so cheerful, it's hard not to want to fall into the atmosphere and enjoy a nice night out. What bothers me is that I'm having some trouble reading Shizune's signing tonight. I haven't been to sign language class in almost a week, so I'm not surprised. I guess having lost focus for a while, I'm slipping. Certainly wouldn't be the first time. Oh, hold on. Where are we going? Into town? Yes. Doesn't make any sense. We haven't even checked out what's on the grounds. Unless you two decided to have fun while I wasn't looking. We're going to come back. We'll be working our way up. Either way, Hee-chan, we have to walk into town and then back up if we want to see everything. So this way, after we're done, we'll be right by our dorms when we're tired. It works out perfectly. That is admittedly logical. Shizune doesn't give me much time to argue anyway, grabbing me by the arm and lightly trying to pull me along. The streets, illuminated only by the light of the moon and low lanterns tinted with tissue paper, put me at ease. Now that we're in town, Shizune moves a bit more slowly in order to see the sights. So I decide to walk more briskly in order to mess with her, but she quickly readjusts her own speed to match, letting out a soundless laugh before quickly signing to Misha with her offhand. What do you want to do first, Hee-chan? How about some games, if there are any? I thought you didn't like games, Hee-chan. I don't mind. For the second time today, I feel her slim fingers wrapping around mine. It feels like all this time I've been pulled along by Shizune's will. Occasionally it's quite tiring, but I think that for the most part I wouldn't say I hate it. It's just the quality of some people to drag others into their lives, like a storm. That word fits Shizune sometimes, I think. Although I didn't want to tell Misha earlier today, I do like her. Hee-chan, you're gonna win a doll for me too this time, right? You're still thinking about that? Okay, I will. The time passes by faster than I thought it could as we run around, trying to do as many frivolous things as possible. Snow cones! Hee-chan, do you want one? Misha runs towards the stand, not even wanting to hear my answer. They look delicious. I want one too. We'll play rock, paper, scissors to see who can pay for them all. Or we could each pay for our own. Hee-chan, what flavor do you want? The blue one. Blue is not a flavor. It is in my book. So is purple. Ordering something based on color is childish. You're childish. What are you getting? Getting strawberry? That's such a childish flavor. Only children eat strawberry. You should get plain. That's the most mature flavor of all. I want to know where her personality comes from. I wonder if I would think that way if she hadn't been the first student I ended up having a conversation with on my first day here. It's entirely possible that I'd have missed the parts of her that kept drawing me in. If I didn't know that she couldn't hear me, and that she was so competitive and so focused with getting me to join the student council and so alternatingly playful and sharp, and without these constant new facets to keep my interest in her, would I have grown to like her so much? It's likely I'm overthinking it. Aren't you going to make a wish? Hee-chan never makes wishes, Hee-chan. Oh, really? Not even on New Year's? Why's that? Shizune tenses her fingers and smiles, but won't answer. Sore wa himitsu desu. I know! Hee-chan, you want me to tell you? That's the first. Yes. Shizune alternates between as many forceful iterations of no as she can think of. I'll tell you later, okay? Actually, I feel tired. I think I'm gonna go to bed early. Really? Doesn't feel like it's been that long. Time flies when you're having fun. But it has, Hee-chan. Maybe I can visit Yuko first, then go back. Or, I don't know. Well, it doesn't matter. Have fun without me, okay? We're gonna go back to the school soon anyway, Misha. Shoom. Misha doesn't want to hear it and leaves anyway. Shizune starts to wonder just why just as soon as I do, but while I keep it in my head, she signs it, seeming to want to discuss the possible reasons. After we're both done seeing all there is to see, I check the time and find that it's pretty late. My energy's starting to wear off, and it's a miracle that I managed to last this long, considering how early he was up. Even Shizune's starting to look a bit tired. We make our way back to the grounds. Shizune seems disappointed when she sees the school building lit up and teeming with students. Something wrong? I wanted to go up to the roof, but now there are too many people. I'm tired, so it might be for the best. There are probably couples on the roof since it's that kind of holiday. Then again, I wouldn't know. Is that how it really is? I've never really been to any festivals before coming here. I'm disappointed, though. I thought you said you wanted to see what the school was doing last, like saving the best for last. Now you're telling me you don't want to? Not even a little? I thought you'd have more energy. I don't feel tired. He's lying. This seems to spark her competitive spirit, and Shizune immediately perks up, although it's then that I realize I didn't have anywhere in mind to take her, and I don't feel like going into the main building myself. Fortunately, the area behind the school is both deserted and impressive looking today. I'd never appreciated how sprawling and well kept it was until seeing it at night. It almost seems to go on forever in the moonlight. It's very pretty, even though it's just a field. I'd thought earlier that she was too immature to pull off the old-fashioned clothes she's wearing tonight, but right now she's quite beautiful in them. Makes me think back to that day, the other festival that I went to with her. She had looked the same way then. I want to tell her that I like her, decisively, in one go, but even thinking about it is just so awkward. And the more I like her, the more awkward and afraid I am of telling her how I feel, even now, when I could do so if I wanted to without having to go through another person. Not to mention, what if what happened last time happens again? If it does, I might not get off so easily with a months-long hospital stay. I don't even want to think about it. He's talking about his heart, by the way. I try to shove the thoughts out of my mind any way possible. I try to dismiss them as unlikely fears. Still, the first time I had seen all of my pills, I imagined them cascading before me, enough of them to choke me. I still think about it from time to time. I can't say that it's not a legitimate concern. Times like these are nice enough that I can forget, though. My favorite thing about this school is that it's on top of a mountain. Is it because that it's much closer to the sky? Yes. I like it too. More because of the fresh air. You're so competitive. Too competitive. If a whale bit you, you'd bite it back. Makes her laugh and she winks. Would that be so bad? Her smile is contagious. Ah, Lullaby of Open Eyes. I'm pretty sure this is the first time we've heard this one, too. Yes. It's true. I'm terrible, a little. But if I can make people happy, I'm not entirely terrible, am I? Then it's okay. I have many examples in my defense. Maybe even this moment is kind of a game to her. That's right. This is a romantic moment. I don't know if such a chance might come again, and I feel compelled to say something awkward and stupid. If I think about it too much, I doubt my hands will listen to me. Do you want to be my girlfriend? Uh-oh, she's gonna bolt. Screwed up, Izao. I hope I signed that properly. I feel nervous, as if I want to break into a run, yet I'm rooted to the spot. I couldn't hear a thing just minutes ago, and now I'm picking up every little ambient noise. I really am nervous, and I wonder if it shows. Before, hours passed like seconds, and now the seconds pass like eons. Then I see Shizune's hands moving unsteadily before her, fumbling over each other, stopping halfway through each gesture. It's like she said, sign language gives you an opportunity to think your words through, and she's trying very hard to do that right now. A situation that she doesn't know how to respond to. It must be unthinkable. As stoic as Shizune tries to be, she can't hide her reddening cheeks, and she's very cute and feminine like this, and it puts me at ease to know that she's as nervous as I am. The thought is yet another way in which I found myself competing with her. Okay. That's a simple reply, but as soon as I think that, Shizune takes a step forward and embraces me. An unsure and careful embrace, as if I were made of eggshell, and as if she doesn't know how to hug someone. Well, though to be honest, it's not a subject I'm familiar with either. Her yukata is cool and silky under my fingers, but I can also feel Shizune's warmth. In the end, she thought this the best possible gesture to show how she felt. And what timing, folks. What timing. Just in time to end the video, we get to Act 3, Sleight of Hand. Whoa. Stop, game, stop. There we go. Okay, we're good. Oh boy! Well, that was eventful, wasn't it? We got through Tanabata, and like I said, Tanabata, major turning point. As you can probably guess, Misha is sort of starting to feel a little bit left out. Or maybe she's starting to purposefully exclude herself, or something. I don't know. We'll have to find out. But Shizune and Hisao are now an item. That's important. I mean, not just for the purposes of story, but it's important to remember for later. Right now, as of Tanabata, this is maybe a few weeks into the school year. Shizune and Hisao are together. Officially, between each other, they're together. This is kind of fast. I mean, yeah, they've been spending a lot of time together, but this is very, very fast-paced for two young people to just fall like this for each other. I mean, I can't say that they're necessarily in love, but they're kind of acting like it, huh? Oh well, I've been rambling for long enough now. And things just got interesting, folks. We're taking a step into a much bigger and broader part of the game. And there's going to be some very interesting things that happen in Act 3. Some things that you probably won't expect, and definitely are not going to see coming. That's for darn sure. But, for now, I am your host, Neo Mega Man. And until next time, folks, join me in Part 13, as Hisao is no longer single. Like I said, I'm your host, Neo Mega Man, signing off. End of line.